Hi, I'm Shelley Young, owner of the Chopping Block, and today I'm going to teach you how to cook beets. We're working with two different kinds of beets. You'll see lots of varieties at different times in the stores, but one of the things that we see most often are just what they call bulk beets, which is generally a red beet. It doesn't have any greens on it. They can be very small or very large. All of them are delicious. I usually like a size just about like this. This is more of a medium-sized beet, I would say. It's easy to peel, easy to eat, slice, and all of that, but it doesn't really matter that much. We also have, these are a golden beet, and they've come with the tops on it. It's one of the few vegetables when I find the tops on it. I actually like that because you can eat the tops as well. Any other produce like carrots, if it has a top on it, I actually pull it off and leave it at the grocery store because it just makes the vegetable age more quickly. So the first thing I'm going to do is roast some beets. I'm going to use the red beets, the bulk beets, and roast those. I've washed these very well, but that's the only thing I've done and the only thing I'm going to do to them. Sometimes people will take these and wrap them individually in foil, but if I'm doing a large quantity, I find it just easy. I just throw them all in a baking dish, oven-proof baking dish, but make sure they're clean. Just like so. I'm going to drizzle with them with a little bit of olive oil and sprinkle of sea salt. But generally I don't do a whole lot. Seasoning wise, because it doesn't go through the peel and into the beet that well anyway. Just a sprinkle of sea salt, because we're going to peel them later after they're roasted. Put a little foil on here. We're going to bake this about 375 until they're tender. Usually about an hour, hour and a half, depending on the size of the beet. Now I'm going to clean these golden beets, and we're going to steam these. Really not much to cleaning the beets. We're just going to cut, after I've washed them, we're just going to cut the greens off and the tip off. And this is really ready to go. These are easier to peel after they're cooked. The golden beets we're going to steam, and that should take about 45 minutes or so. So we're using a perforated insert in a saucepan or stock pot, depending on what you have, and just with boiling water underneath, covered. So we're going to drop our beets in the steamer. The one thing you want to watch out for is, the beets do take a while, like I said, 45 minutes depending on the size or so, that the water doesn't evaporate before the beets cook. So keep an eye on that. So to check our steamed beets, just put a knife in there. Goes in and out real easily. Make sure they're tender. They're done. This was about 45 minutes. They do cook more quickly in here than in the oven. So the beets here, we do want to let them cool a little bit. Wait till you can handle them, but they are easier to peel when they're still warm. Rubber gloves like this are very handy in the kitchen, so I recommend having some around anyway, but this is especially a great opportunity to have that. If we're lucky, we can just simply peel them off just with our fingers, just push the peel off. These are coming off pretty easily. Sometimes I need to use my knife as well to coax it along. Doesn't seem to be the case today. These are great hot or cold. We're going to use them in a salad today, so I'm going to chill these a little bit. If I were serving them hot, I can certainly reheat them by re-steaming them, sauteing them, or just serving them as soon as I'm done peeling them. So we pulled our roasted beets out of the oven looking for the same thing we did in the steamed. We put a knife in there, it came out tender. We peeled them the exact same way, put some rubber gloves on and just pulled the outside off. Just letting them cool enough to handle them. Here I've taken the beets. You can dice them, you can slice them, you can cut them into wedges. I've done a little both of those things. And just to give you an idea of some of my favorite things to do with them, right here we just have a beautiful beet plate. I would just have warm beets, room temperature beets, cold beets, any of it would be delicious. If they were cold, I can just turn this into a salad like that. I put a little salt on here, drizzle of olive oil, maybe balsamic vinegar if you like, a little sprinkle of chives for taste and color. It's just a spectacular presentation. We also have a nice, very simple beet salad here. We have some arugula and spinach, some shaved fennel, along with our golden beets that are chilled. Simple blue cheese dressing we're going to toss with that, along with some homemade croutons. Give that a little bit of toss. Now, what's the difference between steamed and roasted beets? I just want to touch on that a little bit. The steaming, to me, is a little more delicate cooking technique, and the beets have a less concentrated, lighter, fresher taste. The golden beets are also a little lighter in flavor as well, so that's how I look at it. The roasting concentrates the flavor of the beet, intensifies it. So you might choose a steamed beet if you're not as much of a beet fan or not familiar with beets as well. What I like to say about a roasted beet, however, is, in my opinion, it tastes like sweet corn. The texture is nothing like sweet corn, but the taste is very similar. So think about that when you're trying it. And I hope this introduces you to beets, and that's how you cook them.